And I'm noticing these AI assistants are popping up all over the place. I have one myself. If any of you are experts in the use of these AI assistants, please let me know, because with me, it is it is the luck of the draw. I never know when my AI assistant is going to kick in and when it's not. It kicks in meetings that I am not a part of. And I can be in a meeting and it won't kick in. So if you guys have some expertise, please feel free to shoot me an email and tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I am unclear. So ladies and gentlemen, I see Fair Fight is in the house. Miss Burnett King, good to see you. We are just about to get started here in a second. As soon as Brother Mark gives me the signal, I am going to hush and participate in this training just like all of you, because I want to make sure that we are all on the same page with all of the information that we need to move forward. Okay, brother, you got it now. Yeah, your audio's good. Your screen is up. Yes. we see it full screen. So if you want to just, yeah, yes. Go ahead. Yeah, you can do it from that way. That's fine. It's on speaker view. We all just see you. You're the host. We got to start. That's what I'm about to do. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what I would ask, if you would like to participate and ask a question, uh, go ahead and raise your hand. Use the raise your hand feature. I see a couple hands that are already up. I'm going to start sending you all links. So I see Pearlie Lawson, Hazel Bugs, and Antonia Harlan. If there are any others of you who would like to ask a question, go ahead and raise your hand. And I'm going to send you a link to bring you on screen. So as you see those links, just go ahead and click them. And also, once it brings you on screen, make sure that you go ahead and you turn your camera on. All right, so I'm going to send a couple more of these. I sent one to Miss Lawson. Miss Bugs, you should have your link. Antonia Harlan, you should have your link. Okay. Miss Harlan, if you want to go ahead and start your video, I will go ahead and highlight you and bring you on down.
Okay, I'm not presentable for camera right now.
Okay, that's fine.
So excuse me for that. So should I go ahead with my question then?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. My question is it possible, due to the length of Project 2025, which we all know that most people are not going to read it, if we could somehow take the different chapters and break them down into bullet points, like a cliff notes of sorts, and just sort of narrow it down, very similar to what you have here, but go chapter by chapter and make that into a document that can be distributed to the electors. I think it's very important that everyone knows what's in it. I can tell you most people will not read it. They're going to get bits and pieces, but there's a lot of important information in there that we all need to know. So my idea initially was to have groups set up. Someone takes chapter 1, someone takes chapter 2, and they just boil it down into little bullet points and then condense that into one document. And I saw someone on here who was asking for it, that they can distribute it. That way it would be easy for people to read. Right. Yeah, I think it's important that we get it out into the masses, and that's my thing.
Good evening, everyone. Can I have a moment? Big Brother Mark, can I have a moment? I would like to say that, to be honest, that there are a lot of organizations that are breaking down Project 2025 and trying to put it in manageable, put it out there to be in manageable bites and pieces. The truth of the matter is, though, a lot of our populace does not like to read. So, and if y'all haven't met me, I like to talk honest. I speak very honestly. They don't like to read, but here's the other thing. A lot of what is occurring in Project 2025, it has been going on for quite a few years now. So we have actually been seeing it in real time. We just have not accepted it. And or if we have accepted it, we're just kind of moving on to the next 1A, 1B kind of thing. So the abortion, that has been going on for quite a while. There is the dismantling of, whether it's the attack on birth control, that's been going on for quite a while. And really, it's not at a full federal level yet. What we're looking at and what we should be paying attention to are Republican states that have been rolling out laws and or test laws to see if they can actually get them passed. And what occurs then is that they are also just replicating those across the country. So Project 2025, a lot of it has already been put in place. We're just not really paying attention. And so we're thinking that, oh no, it's not going to occur, but it is occurring, and we're waiting until it's too late to go, oh my gosh, why is this happening? So it's actually occurring right now, has been in real time, I'd probably say for the last 5 years. So it's not really new what's been going on. I mean, I think 2 days ago in Texas, I think it was, where they said that they wanted to track I think it's Texas, where they asked the state to see if they can allow to have, like, the legislature can have access to women's medical records, right? And if we know anything, that's counterintuitive to what exactly HIPAA stands for, but they're trying it and they're rolling it out, and all they're doing is testing it right now. Testing, what they can get away with before we get to a full-blown election day. That's all I need to say.
All right, Antonia Harlan, did you have a question?
Yes, I had my question answered. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else? And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, you can go ahead and use the raise your hand feature, and we will go ahead and bring you on screen. I did see another question in there that I'm going to read off from Miss Jennifer Simmons, which was, how much of Project 2025 can be enacted on day one? All right, ladies and gentlemen, are there any more questions? I am looking now in the Q&A. Miss Ovita Glover has asked, what are the 5 urgent matters that will affect us immediately?
That part.
All right, there was a question from Hazel Murray. It says, in the past, Southern conservatives have supported sterilization of Black women, sometimes without their knowledge when hospitalized. Why would Project 25 force Black women to carry through an unwanted pregnancy? And Brother Mark, if I could, because I'm a firm believer, and sometimes what you don't say don't get said. So y'all forgive me. If you're with me, you're with me. If you're not, that don't mean I'm wrong. The reason why you have older white conservative men who are not out there fathering any more children at this phase of their lives, who are hell-bent on making sure that nobody can obtain an abortion. They will even sacrifice IVF so that they can fight for fetal personhood to make sure that they can ban all abortions at a federal level. The reason why is because the white birth rate is at 0. And all of the numbers that predict the year that America will become a majority minority country have terrified the folks on the far right so much that they are willing to go against the will of the general public. They don't care what the polls say. 90% of people in America can say that, you know what, we support Roe. They are hell-bent on making sure that under no circumstances, they do not want white women to abort white children. That's why you got people like J.T. Vance running around talking about, well, we need special privileges for people who have families, and we need to talk about families, and we need more families. The whole push is about doing something about the zeroed out white birth rate. And if anybody believes that this is about morality, or this is about the sanctity of life, and this is about making sure that, you know, we are honoring life at conception or whatnot, the people who are making this argument are not moral men. Donald Trump is not a moral man. So he is not out there making a moral argument. He is making an argument that is based on power. And I just had to say that, because if I didn't say it out loud, it might not get said. So let me hush up.
Also,
Yep.
I do want to add, because I don't want us to lay this at the foot of whiteness, per se, because I think it's important to also note that we do have a lot of African Black Republicans, African Americans slash Black Republicans who actually are for all of these policies. And so, whether it's rooted in their understanding of biblical theology, we have to be mindful of that because a lot of those same people are peers of ours. And we have to figure out a way to have a conversation about what is best for our larger community, if that is what we are seeking, right? This individuality, we've got to move way beyond that, because it has to be about our community. If Medicare or Medicaid expansion is not for you, but what about your grandmother? What about what is happening with access to healthcare? What about, we know diabetes is rampant in our communities. How is it that we're not fighting for, insulin, our medication to be reduced? So we can't wait for it to be like, oh, it's somebody else. It's not. It's sitting in our own communities every day that we don't speak to, that and we don't even acknowledge. Because I can take you places in somewhere in South Georgia that they will definitely replicate exactly what it is that Project 2025 is thinking. And then we don't have that conversation, right? How do we look at a person that looks like myself and say to them, well, wait a minute, we have got to think about the larger community in terms of whether it's our jobs, whether it's our wealth. And they actually think it's definitely counter to what it is that we're doing. So I just want to put that out there because I've spoken to Black men, and I don't mean to come for y'all, but I'm going to say I've spoken to Black men who definitely don't even believe about women's autonomy at all. And they feel like there is a right and a say to be heard about their children being brought into this world, whether or not there's a space for taking care of children, because we don't have that conversation, whether it's about how do we get our children educated. Head Start has predominantly been something for African Americans and minority families, right? But we don't have those types of conversations. I am more, I think we should take on more of the conversation about how does it impact the larger community? How does it impact grandma? How does it impact your uncle? How does it impact your child? And I don't think we talk to each other like that. Our 21-year-old, they might feel like there's no hope, but we are voting on things that can give them hope. And I think that's where we need to start having our conversations, because we're missing out and we only have so many days to do this, and everything cannot be pushed back. Everything can't be delayed, because I know we've had these conversations multiple times over I don't know how many X years. And no, I don't remember Ronald Reagan. Thank you very much, because I was probably, I don't know how old I was, but I don't remember. Don't even say it, 'cause I saw Kevin Miles' lips try to say something slick. Um, d- you see how we having problems tonight, y'all? This why we have problems. I can't, but wait, I see Jennifer Simmons says, Kadada, in this election though, do we have the kind of runway? You know what, Jennifer, you and I have had this conversation, and I think that we run out of runway. We are on the dirt path past the runway at this point in time, because we've delayed this conversation way too many times over every election cycle. Every election cycle, we have delayed it. We have delayed these conversations. We have delayed what we need to do in our communities. We've delayed about what our votes are that are important. And we're here now. And it's worse than ever before. And I'm saying, have the conversations. Have it. Get a bottle of wine, have the conversations. That's all I'm just gonna say. It's time to have the conversations. We can have the conversations. I thought someone said, I think Sharon, I think you said, we need to have kitchen table conversations. Yep. Thanksgiving should look real different, y'all. Real different conversations at Thanksgiving, prior to Thanksgiving. Halloween should look different. And I'm not trying to be funny. Well, no, but no. We still need to have those conversations even after it's elected, because we will still have election seasons happen year round and they don't go away. And so we need to be able to have these conversations. And the other thing I wanted to add is that if you all aren't aware, and I hate to be very basic about this, but Mark was right in terms of these laws can be codified at the federal level. Now, here's one of the privileges of living in the United States, if we've never thought about it, is that every state has its own autonomy politically, right? That is a gift, even though it doesn't feel that way sometimes, that some laws, they can say, this is how we want to execute it, or this is not how we want to execute it, or we don't want to take federal level money. And so think about it that way. If we want the president to be able to have the ability to put laws in place that maybe our democratic states will not agree with, that's something we need to think about.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have any more questions? And again, if anyone wants to come on screen, Carolyn Hampton, I'm sending you a link so that you can come on. Kathy Hill, I'm sending you a link so that you can come on. And if anyone has any more questions, please go ahead and share those with us. Carolyn, I see you are now coming on. If you would like to come on camera, I will bring you onto the screen. If not, you can just come off mute and go ahead and ask your question.
Kevin, this is Carolyn Hampton.
What's going on, Carolyn?
I'm fine. I was looking at the slides discussing Medicare and Medicaid. The title of the slide indicated something about Medicare, but the paragraph under that said something about Medicaid. And okay, thank you. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that there will be no time limit on Medicare, just Medicaid. Is that correct? Time limit on Medicaid. Medicare will be affected in a different way. Okay, thank you.
All right, Billy Wilson, we have you on. If you want to turn your camera on, cool. All right, got you, brother.
All right, evening, people. I just wanted to talk to her. Kadada, she was talking about us having a conversation. For those who might not know, we do have a platform that's called Narrative. That's for Black folks. And so if you can go to Narrative and actually join Nubia, we're having these conversations. We're doing the research, we're talking about it, and we're trying to pull everyone together. So I just wanted to make people aware that that's something that we probably want to tap into. I dropped the link in the chat. Narrative, it's a platform that has been started. If you know Dr. Carr, Karen Hunter, and all of them, they've kind of started this platform. And so if you go into it, you're going to find all kind of information. But it's where we as a Black people are coming together as a community to talk about the way we eat, the way we do politics, the way our history is done. It's so much I can't tell you right now, but I've dropped a link in there that's called Narrative with a K. And so if you go to that platform, I think you'll find a community where you can have these discussions. I go Monday nights. I'm missing my class right now. There's over 1,000 people that's in Dr. Carr's class, in class with Carr. So there's going to be over 1,000 people all over the world in this class having these types of discussions tonight.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Is there anyone else who has a question? Let me go down and see, do we have any in here? If I don't see any more questions, do we have any more hands that are raised? Carol Ollinger, I just sent you a link for you to come on screen. And Carol, you are now on if you want to come off mute. And if you turn your camera on, I'll bring you down. If not, go ahead and ask your question.
I'm trying. How come I can't do it? I should, but while I'm doing that, hello, this is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have 1,000 questions. I was trying to raise my hand and I had to switch devices, but besides just having the conversation, our real talk, I'm with Action NC in North Carolina, and we focus on race and gender equality, race and gender equity. All of this affects us in every single way. It's just not one part that we can focus on. But I was trying to get some clarity on the Medicaid. Thank you for these slides. I'm going to use them in a presentation. I have a couple of different versions. I think I like this one the best so far. If I'm talking to my seniors and people that are on Medicaid, if Trump becomes president and these things are likely to take effect in the first 10 days or something crazy, what can people do? Do you have a kind of an answer? Is there a temporary fallback if they're like, okay, what is that time limit? 5 years, 1 year, 2 years? What is we're going to look at how long you've been some people are on that service for a short period of time and then something happens in life and they have to get back on. How does that timeline, do you think, work? I wanted to, and then wait before you answer. The other thing, I think someone said, these things keep happening. We're desensitized. Unfortunately, we keep seeing all these things. We're seeing rape. We're seeing abortion. Oh, okay, they've changed it again. They turned back Roe versus Wade. We are now desensitized when all these terrible things happen. It's not a shock anymore. It's just par for the course. And it shouldn't be that way. Every single time someone is shot and they're taking our rights away, we should all be on fire and mad as heck, but we're desensitized. I just wanted to say that. It was a comment like a half hour ago. I just wanted to throw that out there. But go ahead, answer the question because I talk too much. police brutality. Taking my rights away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Over and over. Thank you. I appreciate your comments. I just wanted to say that. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, Sister Ollinger, it's good to see you again. Matter of fact, I ain't seen you in 415 years, but it's good.
Yes, yes. And my husband hears you. It's Olinger, just so you know.
All
Good to
right.
see you. I'm glad you guys are doing this. I appreciate the slides. I appreciate a simplified version that I can share and repeat and share with other people across North Carolina and in my right here on my block in my city. This slide is something I can print and hand to people without having to use a ream of paper and then some. You know, there's only 500 sheets in a ream. The pages are if you print the entire booklet, it's 922 pages. And even if I did front and back, it's still a ream of paper. I'm just saying.
All right. Thank you, my dear. Ms.
Thank
Harris,
you.
the floor is yours. Ms. Harris, you are on mute.
My question is, can the NAACP have a program like a program on a national TV network, maybe with a host just like Oprah Winfrey or someone that people kind of look up to about this Project 2025? Since a lot of our people don't read, don't know anything about it, don't think it's going to hurt them. Is that a possibility that the NAACP could do something before the election to kind of, a lot of people would watch it on TV, I think.
Well, Sister Harris, I will answer that and say I imagine they could, but I want to just be clear. You know, we are not with the NAACP. This is just a separate organization. So I certainly hope that they will. And I see Peaches Henry said that, you know, MSNBC has already done that. And in fact, Joy Reid has done a number of those, and I hope they'll continue to re-air those. But
Yeah,
I would also hope that all organizations would take up this charge and reach out to their own respective constituencies, because you know, some of this stuff, like I say, the consequences are so severe that even, like I say, even if the election works out in ways that are favorable to our long-term agenda, it doesn't mean that the people who spent all this time and money
gonna stop.
investigating and putting this 900-page document together, they are not going to walk away from it because of the results of the election cycle. This
Absolutely.
is,
Yeah, absolutely.
fight this until we beat this.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, Kathleen Keller, you should be receiving your link right now. Kathleen, I see you coming up on the screen. If you want to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and ask your question. And if you turn your camera on,
Well,
I'll give you-
I just wanted to follow up with Ms. Harris. The NAACP has had several presentations on Project 2025 that are, very good. And if you go to their website, you can find, bullet points as well as, film or video, excuse me, and things like that about 2025.
Toolkit.
Yeah, they have a whole toolkit out for it, how to deal with it and what to do. So the NAACP is very involved in fighting this
Awesome.
on both levels, not only as in presenting the information, but also in, okay, now what do we do next? So
All right, that's good news. And I see Gladys Walker has put a link to the toolkit in the chat. So make sure that you guys go ahead and download that so you have that information as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see any more questions, so we are going to go ahead and start moving to our close. One thing I did want to mention, because this is one of those things that is going to reach out and grab us immediately if they are successful in moving this forward. Brother Mark talked about in Project 2025, they want to basically realign the work of the Justice Department, and the language that they use is that it should be aligned with the administration. However, if you dig a little bit further, what they actually want to do is redirect the work of the Department of Justice. Now, those of you who've been doing this for a while, you know that that's not new, right? Every administration goes in and tweaks and makes changes to the work that you see in DOJ, specifically around civil rights. Those of you who have been in this game for a while probably remember not too many years ago when all of a sudden, when Trump got in there the first time, that they told guys in CRS, the CRS department of DOJ, that they had been spending too much time working on Black issues and they needed to focus on working on counterterrorism issues, and basically pulled away one of those layers of protection. But in Project 2025, they actually want to use the DOJ to go after organizations that have DEI type programs. They want to take the work of the Civil Rights Division away from protecting the civil rights of people and use it to go after organizations and agencies that have diversity programs, claiming that those diversity programs are discriminatory against white people. That's one of those things that we need to be prepared to fight on, because if any of us thought that the DEI fight ended at the school board meetings, you would be incorrect. That fight is completely still going. It is written into Project 2025. And again, this is one of those things that we are going to have to fight until we beat, because they did not spend all this time and all this money putting together this 900-page document just to fold it up and go home if they lose an election. They are going to keep on pushing until they can try to get these things through. I've seen a couple people mentioned in the chat. That's why it's important that we pay attention to the elections for the Senate and the House. That is absolutely the case, because this is not a one and done. But again, Jennifer Simmons said the Fearless Fund is a great case study. And Jennifer Simmons, I cannot believe you have gone through this whole training without raising your hand and coming on screen. But, shame on you. That's all I'm going to say. But ladies and gentlemen, I am going to turn the floor back over to my brother, Mark, and we are going to go ahead and start moving towards our close. Looks like we are going to land this plane on time. So brother Mark, the floor is yours. All right, Sister Gray, did you have anything, any closing comments that you want to leave us with before we go?
Nope.
All right, so y'all are ending a little bit too quick because I'm trying to get.
All
this-
right, well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Everybody vote down ballot if you're going to vote, right? We need to change Congress. We need to change our state legislatures, URES. We need to change all of those. This fight is not only at the top, we have to do it at all levels of government in every one of our states. So that's what I have to close with.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next week.